Hello, lovely people. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we are here today because I binged watched 2 seasons of a TV show just a couple of days ago. And that kind of motivated me to not let this time to go to waste. I really wanted to be like, okay, that was fun. I had fun watching TV show. Why not to make this time useful? Why not to make some sketches or drawings based on the TV show? So I went online and I kind of tried to gather as many references as I can, as many screen caps from this show. It took me hours because I couldn't stop looking. The show, by the way, is Wheel of Time, and I was particularly invested in season 2 because of outstanding costume design that this show had. I was so in love. Like, you see so many stuff that is like medieval, high fantasy style, and at some point when you see it, it feels generic. And I'm not calling any art or any costume generic, but like you have certain expectation, like you have expectation towards how the armor should look like, or if there is a high lady, like a queen or someone, you expect particular dress or whatever. But like this show really surprised me because I felt like the costume design and makeup and hair and everything on the characters was fitting perfectly with the narrative, with the story, but at the same time it felt different from what I usually see. So I was like super in love. I was like, I have to study those costumes. Like, I do genuinely, sorry, from the bottom of my heart, want to take my time and study those costumes. So I did the first sketch, and this is the sketch you see me drawing in the background now. And I wasn't happy. Like, don't want to say like I'm bad at drawing, which I feel sometimes, but I felt like I just missed a mark on catching the character as a whole. And that was new experience for me in a way, because I tend to just like, when I see a photo, I can just like copy it perfectly. Past the time that those things are hard for me, but for some reason I genuinely felt like something is just missing in my sketches. So after I finished with this first sketch, obviously I was super unhappy. I was like, oh, I'm terrible at drawing, blah blah blah. But I decided to change my goal from studying costume into studying the character as a whole and try to look on more like small things, details, maybe not details, but like expressions, like the storytelling aspects. Basically, I was like, okay, I will just look into like the face in the scenes and surrounding area maybe, and not so much into the costume, like unlike my original plan. So I picked tons of references, as I mentioned. Obviously, I couldn't make decision what should I draw because there were like just so many cool and awesome characters. But eventually, I managed to pick. I did like 7 sketches total that you will see me going through and drawing in the background. But the thing is, like each time I did a sketch, I had this constant feeling like I failed. And that made me realize I made a very, very big mistake of drawing basically just from photos for the last couple of years now. Because I had something in my mind each time I was looking at specific frame, at specific screenshot, and that was the story of the character. I remember each scene vividly because I just watched it, right? It's still fresh in my head. And I kept thinking about what this particular character is going through. What is her or his story? What kind of person they are. In a way, when I drew from photo, I drew a person, but I felt like I'm just drawing an object. But right now I'm kind of attached. I have this understanding of story and what's going on. So it feels more personal. It feels like you're drawing a particular human being with their own feelings, emotions, expressions, struggles, and all those things. And that was new. That was completely new for me. And that was also insanely challenging. I genuinely didn't know I'm gonna have such a hard time going through this. In the end, I did like 7 sketches and I felt like I failed in every single one of them. Like I did first sketch, I felt, okay, that's not this character. And the second, and I also felt like, oh, this is not this character. And the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and I was spiraling into like, I'm not able to catch what I want, basically. And this made me realize that there's not only the story of the character, but also every TV show or movie, they have their own specific cast. In a way, you choose the characters you draw from the TV show, but those characters were already chosen like by someone else. Someone already like hired those people to portray those characters. And when I, at least personally, and I think a lot of people can relate to that, when I want to draw, let's say I want to draw a girl, I will just go online, pick a portrait and draw it. And when I want to draw a girl again, I will do the same. And at some point I realized there is a pattern to what I usually draw. I usually have a comfort zone that are obviously like super pretty girls or super handsome boys. And it doesn't feel real in a way. Like people are different, right? They look different. They have different personalities, different ethnicities, different stories, different expressions even. It genuinely made me realize I don't remember last time when I was drawing someone that's like, I don't know, smiling or is sad, because I constantly draw from like the still Instagram beautiful pictures when everyone's basically doing the same face. And I don't have anything against that. Like those people are pretty and awesome, but it also feels like I'm leaving my comfort zone heavily now by doing characters from the TV show. And I'm super happy with that. I'm super happy that I'm failing with each sketch, because if I do fail, it means there is so much more that I can learn from. And things I notice over time when sketching or attempting to sketch these characters were that I slowly pick on some smaller decisions that were made. Something like makeup in this scene is a little bit different than the makeup in other scene. And in this other scene, character is in position of power. And in the other, she's sad or angry or whatever. And all those little things, they change. And I'm glad I got to sketch it, because I think I kind of expanded the way I look at those characters and at those small decisions. And basically I made a whole video to convince you to find your favorite show, find the screen caps and try to study from it. You will see first, if you used to like drawing characters from like the photos, it's gonna be so much harder. And I'm saying it as a person with like, I think I drew like thousands upon of thousands of portraits of like characters, anatomy studies and everything. I struggled so much with this, and I don't know if it's just me, because I was trying to hit up a couple of people and ask if they did those kind of studies, but like apparently like they just did the keyframe studies from shows. So I couldn't really find anyone to like discuss it. But for me, experience was different, and I highly encourage you to just go find the show, try this, and if you did, let me know how it went. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and have a good one.